Tennessee taking that dub in down in Baton Rouge against LSU. The score was 40-13. So Tennessee football remains undefeated after beating the LSU Tigers. Starting off with the opening, LSU fumbled the bag on the opening kickoff, and the Vols went up from there, building that 20-0 lead. They never looked back, never letting Tigers come within one score of them, and they beat LSU in Death Valley, I think, for the first time since I want to say 2005. So this is a pretty big win. And as a Tennessee fan, we always have to talk about the negatives when it comes to Tennessee. So there was just tons of penalties on this game after watching it. University of Tennessee committed 12 penalties for 107 yards. So that's crazy. And that's key, especially coming into next week's game. And they also entered the game among one of the most penalized teams who give up the most penalty yards per game in the nation. So if Alabama is looking for any leverage there, you definitely can find it. Some more negative, the pass coverage remained awful on that game. Tennessee allowed Jaden Daniels to complete 32 of 45 passes for 300 yards and a touchdown. So that's the key to taming Bama next week, even if Bryce Young doesn't play. I mean, they still have a backup quarterback. They still can't produce. And as for LSU, I mean, we know now that Brian Kelly, he claimed that he said he was out coached and outclassed. So I know we talk about Brian Kelly in the SEC, but Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and share your thoughts on Brian Kelly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I first want to start off by saying, hey, Hendon Hooker, I seen him throwing that ball around, and he made one beautiful throw going into the end zone that was just dropped right in the basket. Wide receiver made a great catch on it as well, man. And, Tennessee doesn't, people caught this, hey, this could possibly be a trap game and all that stuff. I've been trying to tell people, Brian Kelly is not that guy. He was at Notre Dame. There were some things that were able to be masked at Notre Dame where you're able to pick out your schedule and able to go and beat up on some lesser ACC teams and crap like that. You know what I'm saying? But he's not him. I think the AP poll should be embarrassed that they even had them ranked, period, in the top 25. But this just goes to show that the AP poll is nothing but clickbait anyway. But yeah, LSU doesn't have a quarterback. That's my biggest issue with Tennessee is them making guys who aren't really quarterbacks kind of look like quarterbacks. But hopefully Tennessee can get that shaped up for next week, man. Hopefully them DBs are ready. Hopefully they are dialed in. And who's to say this? Maybe the coaches for Tennessee just saw what they saw on film with LSU and was just like, we ain't really got to show much.
You definitely right with that. They could say, well, we got to improve on some other areas. Speaking of which, Tennessee's run game was dominant. The team had 263 yards on the ground. So they definitely showed that they not, if something happens where, especially next week, where Bama defense comes in and pushes Hooker out the paint or the pocket, they definitely can produce on the ground. So we'll get in a little bit more as Tennessee and the Week 7 preview as Tennessee takes on Bama and Rocky Top. I'm sorry, in Knoxville. So all my Tennessee fans, stay tuned for that.